Nancy, hi, good afternoon. My name is Sanjay. I run a local internet marketing firm, and today in this video presentation, I wanted to walk you through kind of looking at your website in terms of how much traffic that's generating for you. So whether it's a useful asset as a web property, or currently whether it's not, and then also looking at some of your competitors, and then talking about strategies that can help get you more a higher organic search position, and therefore resulting in more traffic and eventually more customers. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to take you to this page on my site, what is SEO, and really what I want to talk about is this graph here, which explains to you what the relationship is between the organic position, ranking position on Google, and then the percentage of overall traffic that goes to that particular website. So in this, as you can see here, 32 point some percent of all traffic will go to the first organic position, about 17 to the second, 11% to the third, and then there's almost like an exponential decay here. By the time you get to page 2, it's almost irrelevant. And then like at 15, I think it's basically 0.4% of all traffic goes to position number 15. So with search engine optimization, it's basically a process where you try to optimize your website so it starts ranking higher on search engines, and the goal is to get to page 1, which is what really gets all the rankings, and then eventually make your way up on page 1 towards a top ranking. So with that introduction, let me take you to kind of what the Google search results look like for your main money keyword, which is chiropractor in Alameda. There's a sponsored section here, which is all advertisements. In this case, this one is taken up by one of your competitors who's also fairly high on the organic ranking. And then this section here is the map pack, which is the local results that Google shows. And you see 3 results by default, and then if you want to go look at more, you have to click more places. Typically, it's the objective of search engine optimization for the map pack is to try and get within these top 3. And then below that, you have your organic search results, and again, as we discussed earlier, you want to be in the top 10 for that. If you look at a couple of your competitors, Alameda chiropractor.com has taken up a sponsored space here, and then he's also got the number 4 organic listing, Clinton Chiropractic. And then if we look at one of your other competitors, Vitalogy has taken, is basically on the map pack in the 2nd position. They also have a Yelp page that shows up here on the 3rd organic position, plus their own website also shows up here on the 7th organic position. So that's kind of how eventually the goal is to try and get multiple properties listed on page 1, so you can kind of rank for different properties and get traffic through different properties. But the first goal, of course, is to get your main website to the first page, to page 1. Right now, I think on the map pack, you guys are listed at probably like 14 or 15, something like that. You're kind of all the way here. And then on the organic search results, again, your sort of first page is 10 results, and then my Google is configured to show more results, but for most people, it's 10 results show up there. And then you show up organically as result, position 14. And this, as I explained earlier, obviously traffic has everything to do with where you're listed on Google. And to kind of look at that in more detail, this is the profile of the organic traffic that's coming to your website, through the keywords that you're ranking for. And the main keyword, the money keyword, being chiropractor, Alameda, California, and that's what's getting most of your traffic. And if you look at how much traffic you're generating, earlier in the year you were at about 3 visitors, unique visitors per month, and then it kind of dropped to 0 for a few months, and then looks like you're getting 1 organic visitor now through this process. So again, there's a lot of opportunity. If you look at one of your competitors, these guys are, they had about 60 or so a couple of months back, and they're kind of hovering at that 60 some range, 65 or so per month. And obviously this is a keyword that a lot of people are searching for. So purely just for chiropractor in Alameda, there's about 90 searches a month, and then chiropractic, there's another 20. And then if you look at other related keywords like sciatica, lower back pain, and neck pain, and so on and so forth, once you kind of add up these keywords, there's, again, a lot more people searching for related services. So, to get just one unique visitor to your website per month, basically through organic search, it's just, your web property is really not adding you any value right now. So in any case, that's something I wanted to bring up. We've already seen kind of what that organic performance looks like, and then wanted to take a second to just look at your website here. And one thing, I mean, the thing I like about it when I look at it straight away is that you've got some information here about the site, a really clean call to action, so people can put in their information, push the send button, it goes right to you. There's address information, map information. There's some other little stuff here, and some generic kind of what ailments you treat. Now, what I would do specifically is really blow up this page in terms of content. You need a lot more content if you want to start ranking high. And to give you just a small example, if I were to go to Google and just search for the term cat, you'll see that Wikipedia is the first result. Cat.com, which is Caterpillar, which is a big global conglomerate, actually gets the second position. And of course, there might be other related items pertaining to Caterpillar, but Cat still, Wikipedia still takes the number one position. And that's mainly because if you kind of go look at that site, there's just tens of thousands of words. There's just a lot of content here pertaining to cats, right? So content, really helps with making the site appear relevant, and relevance is a very important thing for ranking. So, all of your competitors, you want to try and match them and beat them in terms of content. So anytime it's a fight about content, that's completely in your control. So you can, take action and, really, if you created 750 to 1,000 words of content here, that would really go a long way to help out. And then I would actually, make, add all these as kind of clickable links back to different pages on your site. And then each one of these, I'd actually go back and kind of expand on it a lot more, so that there's just a whole lot more information. So I would talk about the techniques used for that you use for treating, and then talk about the specifically the conditions that you treat for, and then add just more information pertaining to you, and so on and so forth, right? And just make it a much more robust site. So that's one part of kind of fixing your organic ranking, is just kind of content for the website. And then the second aspect, which is, we've talked about relevance so far, we need to talk about trust. Trust is established basically through how many other properties on the internet link back to you or have information pertaining to you. And so if we look at your backlink profile right now, you've got 4 backlinks in total, and this metric shows that really the site is not considered trustworthy at all. This is an index that goes from 0 to 100. If you can get to 10 or 15 or 20, that would help go a long way to getting you higher up on the ranking. Lastly, I also want to kind of talk about one more thing, which is citations. And I've kind of looked at citations for your site, and then also a couple of other competitors locally, and you can see you've got 32 citations, and citations are basically directory listings, in your case white pages and super pages and city search and so on and so forth. And again, with citations, the idea is match what your competitors are doing and then do more than them. So again, this will help if you really went out and got a lot more citations. that's another thing that would help you. One last thing kind of before we conclude this presentation, I wanted to also talk about one of the things that would be helpful in the long run is if you don't have a Yelp page, to get one set up, and then also because eventually that would be a nice property to try and get to rank on Google's first page as well. And then in addition, I think if you got some reviews for your Google page here, I think that might also help push your ranking up a little bit. But of course, it's all interconnected. So you got to get the content aspect fixed, the backlinks and citations fixed, and then once you add that power with all the reviews and other things, then that kind of takes care of pushing you up. And of course, if you eventually get to page one and then start ranking high on page one, that's going to result in just a lot more traffic. And then assuming you're able to convert your traffic at some reasonable percentage, that's new leads and new business. So I hope this presentation was useful, and if you'd like to discuss more about how we can go about this and more specifics, I'd love to get on a 30-minute phone call and discuss further. I'm going to be sending an email to you shortly, and that'll have my contact information, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you. Bye.